This is Fraser Coast Stories with George Seymour, and this week I'm with Tina Davie, the Director for Bayside Transformations. Tina, can you tell us a bit about what Bayside Transformation does?
Bayside Transformations is a residential drug and alcohol therapeutic community recovery program.
Mm-hmm. And it's here in Torquay in what was once a church camp?
It was a campus from the Baptist church, so there was dorms on both sides, and the, people used to come on holiday here, or people come for lessons or teachings or whatever. So the Baptists owned it for many years.
Yeah,
Well,
and now it's got this
started.
really great second life as Bayside Transformations.
Yeah, so we've sort of set it up back in 2010, and we set it up for the men only at that stage.
Yeah.
And so there's dorms on both sides of the campus, and then we've got offices and veggie production kitchen that's been set up downstairs besides their normal kitchen that they got to function in. So it certainly has transformed since the beginning of what it was like to what it is now.
And so when somebody comes here, how long is the program for?
The program is 12 months plus. We encourage people to do 12 months plus, but sometimes people can only do like the 3 months or the 6 months, or but each level at each stage we do an exit plan, a healthy exit plan for those who want to can only do 3 months or can only do 6 months. But we always encourage because in each stage of their program there's a new learning, something that's new learning skills that they could learn, what they could get out of the next stage of their recovery program. So 3 months is fairly short, so they don't get to cover and put into application what they're learning. So it's actually what we require is for them to actually put into application of what they're actually learning, rather than just being taught or just
And what are they learning?
They're learning how to communicate healthily. They're learning work ethics. They're learning responsibility. They're learning accountability. So all those things, rather than just saying F you to the boss, or I can't be bothered, I'm not getting up for work, too bad, see you later, I can't be bothered getting up. They're actually putting into application, no, you will be getting up. No, you will be turning up for a course, or you will be turning up for work therapy, you will be turning up for the group work. So, and if they do not turn up, then there's a natural consequence for them that will take away from their free time. So it's application of healthy confrontation, because a lot of people don't know how to, especially addicts who've boundaries have been crossed with themselves too, and with other people. So they learn how to say no. They learn how to say, I feel disappointed. What I see happening is, and what I'm willing to do. It's sort of like boundary talk. Healthy communication, confronting, and being able to allow people to confront them healthily, without them getting offended and upset and see you later, F you. So
And Tina, what kind of addictions are people dealing with when they come see Bayside Transformations?
Well, it's most of it, 90% of it is drugs and alcohol. 10% would be drugs and alcohol, also consumed with gambling, by the way. There's gambling. It's basically they're still trying to win money to get their shot or whatever. And also there's gamers, there's people that social media.
You mean gamers like computer games?
Yeah, computer games, people who are gamers, there's people who are,
And have they're addicted to it, and they feel that it is taking control of their lives.
And it's mental health, because it consumes them and they can't work, they're so consumed, so they go into this dark space. What's underneath? What are you escaping? So that's what we look really underneath the addiction. It's not just about the addiction and being sober. It's actually what's underneath, what causes you to isolate from society, what causes you to react in society.
And what are the causes sometimes?
Well, most of it is trauma. A lot of people have had their own experience of being bullied severely at schools. A lot of people have had unhealthy parents that have been some terrible stories, and very sad stories of, people being locked, young boys or girls being locked up in cupboards, tortured. We've had some pretty full-on complex trauma here, but most of them are definitely being through PTSD. They have had post-traumatic stress disorder. That it would be 98% of these men and women have actually been through some traumatic or many traumatic experiences in their life.
Yeah, and you said it started out for men. When was the decision made to have it men and women, and what is the proportion?
So maybe in 2013 we started the Women's House. Yeah. And we have, usually we can fit up to 22 men, and in the Women's House we can fit up to 10 women. And the Women's House is off-site, but they do come onto the campus to do their program, parts of their coursework, parts of the group work, work therapy, all those things.
And is it a different type of program? Is the group work different for a group of women versus a group of men?
It's the same group work. It's the same group work, but some experiences. Some experiences where women have to be separated from the men, where they may have been through domestic violence or whatever it might be. So we separate that process where they want to talk about intimate stuff. But we don't put the male and female groups together. The only time they might do a little bit of group work would be psychoeducation with mindfulness, anger management, conflict resolution, yes, stuff like that. So,
and when somebody comes into the program, are they normally referred from a counsellor? How do people come into Bayside Transformations?
So we do get referrals from different services around Hervey Bay, and a lot of it also is, word of mouth, a lot of social media, or maybe we even get people from Melbourne, coming here. They're looking for recovery programs and wanting to get out of Melbourne, and they actually start a new life here. I'm not just saying Melbourne, but other states, and they end up starting a new life away from their old environment. And we get them from all over the place, but that referral system, it's either they go looking for the search net on the website and find us on Google.
And you change lives here.
Well, the whole point was that transformation was to transform people's lives, help them. And as I said, it's not just alcohol and other drugs, where it's really what's underneath. I got a person here that's, consistently lies. He sees it as a habit. I know it sounds strange, but he's actually here to get his mental health plus, that area of his life. He wants to, do it differently. So it's been great. He's loving the program.
And some people that have gone through the program have continued with Bayside Transformations in other roles.
They certainly have. We've got case managers, we've got coordinators, program coordinators, people that are working for the social enterprises, or marketing, or maybe grant writers, it's not just, or we might transfer them. We've got a guy that was the director. We've sent other guys to other campuses. And, there's people that are out there now working in the social services, but they wanted to give back because they feel that they resonate with, people through addiction. So they're working in those areas, in those social services areas, helping give back.
And as vitally important as what you're doing, there's not a lot of centres like this, are there?
No, so...
And you wouldn't receive much government funding?
No, we don't receive much government funding, but it's been most of our transformation life up here is actually we had to find our own funding, and that's through social enterprises.
And what are your social enterprises?
We've got a Bayside Veggies.
Yeah, and that supplies a lot of restaurants.
Yeah, clubs, RSL, boat clubs, pubs and restaurants. So, and then we've got an op shop. So, but we're wanting to expand on the op shops and get it out to Maryborough, maybe Gympie and Bundaberg. That's our plan. We're looking forward to probably getting some volunteers from, local towns, because we also help people from Gympie, from Maryborough, from Bundaberg, because they're in our region. So close by anyway. So basically we want to get an op shop in those towns, so they actually know a little bit more about us besides just going to fund our program, because we definitely need the funds.
And Tina, if somebody knows as a family or a friend who is suffering from addiction, how can they help them?
Well, basically, it's definitely not trying to enable them, but actually, sometimes you've got to put boundaries in for your own family, and so that they actually start to actually see, these are the impacts I'm causing. My family have said no more, and either you choose to go and get help, or we have to just not cut ties as in we're not loved anymore, but sometimes you've got to do the hard line. And in order for them, you can offer them, there's this recovery program, there's that recovery program, there's recovery programs, in Queensland, you've got Lives Live Well, you've got, all sorts of programs that are up and down the coast in Queensland, besides New South Wales, even if they wanted to get out of town. So there is help available for them. And if they didn't want to go do residential rehab, there's still places like Bridges that will help people out there with their addiction issues.
And Tina, having run this centre for so many years and helped people transform their lives, it must be very rewarding and personally satisfying to be working with Bayside Transformations.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be anywhere else. It's like you can see, even if they, as I said, even if they don't last that whole space where they feel they belong, they feel like they're loved, they feel like, okay, I'm actually getting something out of this, and you can see the transforming part of them, because sometimes we have to be disciplined, and sometimes we might, let's say, exit somebody for a couple of weeks, and then they come back and they're just a different person, because they said, well, actually we're not going to be putting up with that stuff. So they come back, and then they're, they still follow the program boundaries. So it's healthy for them. It's a beautiful ministry and organisation. So.
And you must see some real success stories in people's lives being turned completely around.
People who have been in and out of prison have now have got a new life. People who have been in and out of the mental health system, in psychiatrists, in mental health wards, are actually now, I've got an RL that is actually now, he was in and out of mental health, and he is now functioning so well. I mean, it's just, I'm not talking about just the ones, I'm talking about lots of them.
All the way through,
we've had guys that have been to the point where they're suicidal and they just want to give up on life, and now they're married and got family, and that's what I love, going to their weddings. Or I love actually special. Even marrying them now, because I could marry them, so which is pretty special.
That's fantastic. Thanks, Tina, for everything you're doing for our community. You're helping us as a community. You're helping people get through the toughest time of their lives. It's really appreciated.
No worries. Thanks, George.